Good morning, God damn it. Pissing Vinegar Day 273. Leg day. And today I got something pretty cool. Fucking just. Ah! Oh, I just fucking poked myself in the eye so bad. Wow. Sorry about that. It hurts so bad, man.
Shit.
Squats. I'm up to deep squatting 100 kilos once again. Pretty underwhelming because I've done this so many times in my life. I've fucking deep squatted 100 kilos, got up to there, quit training legs for like a year, do it again. I think the best I was ever up to with deep squats was like 120, but granted I was like 10 kilos heavier. But anyway, fucking, we'll get it to like 3 or 4 plates one day now. I'm consistent, I know that for sure. Anywho, leg extensions. So, this fucking machine, I've fixed it. So I have a this was originally leg extension machine, which was plate loaded, as you can see. Plate loaded shit because the resistance curve is garbage. All the resistance is in the top range, which is fine because ideally that's what you're looking for in a leg extension anyway, is to get that inner head of the quad sweep to activate through mechanical tension at the top. But that isn't to say that I don't want shitty fucking, leverage all the way through until the top. Like, the bottom end, you want it to feel like it's difficult all the way through, right? So, anyway, I rigged up another machine that I don't use because it's also equally garbage because it was plate loaded. And I basically stuck them together. And now I have a fucking leg extension machine, which is sick. This thing works perfectly fine. It's just as good as about any other I've ever felt. And yeah, my leg day is now going to evolve. My inner head quad sweep's going to evolve. I might start doing it unilaterally because my left leg's a little bit smaller and weaker, just for a host of different reasons, which takes away from my ability to squat. I thoroughly believe I could squat quite a bit more if my left leg wasn't a limiting factor. So this will be good for training my left quad and hamstring. Here, I'm now going to try and do a seated hamstring curl, you're going to see. But I didn't consider one design flaw in the cable machine, so I'm going to have to fix this up a little bit. And then I can do a seated cable, curl, which is great for the lower hamstrings. And then I can do a laying one after that for the upper hamstring attachment. So, yeah, this thing's pretty fucking good. I don't know what's going on here. I guess I forgot to edit this part out. But basically, I'm tinkering around and fucking... It's still a bit goofy. You can see, like, I've got this random pole for my legs to stop it from moving up when I try to do the hamstring curl. But yeah, you're gonna see I try to do the curl and then it stops. Basically, one of the mechanisms just basically interferes with the other mechanism. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll make a video on how I made this. But I don't think it would be relevant because you would need the exact two random machines that I happen to have. But maybe it'll give you a basic guiding principle on how to fix it. I also tied a yoga mat to the leg part because I have insurmountable amount of bruises on my shins from kickboxing. And so driving my shins into a cheap pad hurts like fuck all, like just hurts, yeah. So I just, got this giant fucking yoga mat, as you can see, tied to it, and that took away from the pain in my shins. So, anyway, maybe I'll make a video on how I've, made this thing. Anyway, doing Nordic curls. I think I need to start focusing on my hamstring attachments because it's good for athletics, but also my right knee's been playing up a fuck ton, which I think is partially overuse from just practicing right-legged leg kicks all the fucking time, and then my hips are pretty fucked. Your hips dictate your knees. So if you have bad knees, it's probably coming from hip dysfunction. So I'm pretty confident that it's that. Anyway, we'll see what I have to do about that. I'll probably fix it up somehow, but I definitely need to fix my hips because it takes away from my ability to squat, it takes away from my ability to deadlift, gives me back pain, gives me knee pain, fucking takes away from my ability to kick. Like, I just, the more things that stack up, the more motivation I have to fix these stupid fucking hips. So, yeah, now that knee pain's starting to kick in, I think that's the last straw. It's time to really fix my fucked up hips. Because the thing is, like, for the longest time, it's evolved. Originally, my fucked up hips, it was like, Well, takes away from my ability to squat and deadlift, but that doesn't matter. I don't care about those things too much. And then at some point, I was like, oh man, I can't head kick people that well because of my hip immobility. And I was like, oh, that's kind of gay. And then sciatica, and I was like, that's definitely extra gay. And then as soon as the pain starts to really kick in, like you start getting sciatic, you start getting knee pain and different types of pains. Pain's the ultimate motivator. If you're in pain, you're gonna want to fix that shit. So now that I'm actually old enough that I feel a fuck ton of pain from my fucked up hips, I'm probably gonna do something about it. Should have done it years ago, but anyway, it isn't oftentimes until it's verging on being too late for you to do anything about things, unfortunately. Anyway, yeah, so I'm doing Nordic curls partially just to bulletproof my hamstrings. I think I'm getting a bit more interested in strength recently, just because I'm doing kickboxing and MMA, and strength is often massively rewarded by being in MMA and kickboxing. Like, I'm by no means very good at kickboxing, or even boxing, but definitely kickboxing I'm not very good at. Not that good at MMA, but I feel like you can get away with a lot of stuff by just being generally quite a bit bigger and stronger than the average MMA or kickboxing guy. Like, I've noticed a lot of MMA and kickboxing guys aren't that good. Probably because when you do fighting, you don't really give two shits about being big and muscular. But they do once they work with a guy who's not as technically efficient, but significantly bigger and stronger, and they start getting mauled by that person. So I've noticed that recently when I'm at MMA. Like, people will be like, fuck man, your leg kicks are hard as shit. And it's like, are they? Because my leg kick technique's pretty garbage, but I've got pretty big, strong legs. You know, a squat wouldn't say so. But you can see I got some decently strong legs now. Or big legs at least. People will get, booted in the leg and they're like, fuck man, you got some sweet leg kicks. Where'd you learn that? I'm like, nowhere. My leg kicks are fucking technically shit, but they're just strength with strength. If you're strong, you're gonna kick hard as fuck. And equally, when I get leg kicked, it's not really that bad because I got pretty meaty quads to cop it. Whereas these guys, not so much. So, a lot of guys recently, I've been sort of red pilling at MMA on just fucking hitting the gym and getting strong because it helps. It's hard to armbar someone when they can bicep curl your body weight. It's hard to fucking leg kick someone when their quads are 3 times thicker than yours. You know what I mean? So I don't know how I got onto this topic, but oh yeah, I'm getting more interested in strength and bulletproofing. So, Nordic curls, it's more of a sort of quote unquote functional exercise. It's not so much about the musculature as it is about the tendons. But I'm doing that because, I just want to make the most out of my training. MMA and kickboxing motivates me to train more nowadays. I actually have more incentive apart from just being big and, strong and healthy and looking good. It also, when you have to actually do a sport or you practice a sport, I'm not going to compete by any means, but when you practice a sport and you get rewarded for training, it makes you want to train even more, and it maybe changes your training a little bit. Maybe I'm focusing more on strength. Maybe I'll start doing some 5x5 on squats so I can get my neurological adaptations and focus a little bit less on the size of my legs and a little bit more of the strength equally. So we'll see how that evolves, but the upper body will stay purely hypertrophy. I don't really give a fuck about anything else. Anyway, that's it for today. Peace out. Bye.